What's up? It's your boy Domuto. We back with another video. Today we're watching Sacred Saiyan. What if Goku was in My Hero Academia Part 3, Season 3. We're going to finish this off today, Season 3. We're going to watch the finale right after this. So, it's been a great story so far, and I can't wait how it finished. So let me know what y'all want me to watch next from Sacred Saiyan or any other creator that does what if stories or whatever you want me to react to. So, let me know down below, and make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and let's get into it.
This video begins some time after the last one ended. Goku's been catching some of the villains who escaped, while avoiding Class 1A, who has been trying to find him, and in between stopping villains and avoiding the students of UA, the vestiges of One For All, including Deku, helped Goku to start learning how to use all of their new quirks he gained. Goku didn't need float, since he can already fly, and Goku discovered that the way to control Black Whip was very similar to how he controls the energy in his body, so he was able to learn that very quickly.
Right.
Not only that, but he also learnt Danger Sense, allowing him to detect nearby danger. And Goku didn't really see a use in learning to use Smoke Screen, but he did train to master Fajin, which with Goku being a prodigy, he was able to do. Goku did also begin training to learn Gear Shift, but he hasn't mastered it yet, so he's advised not to use it. And as he is about to continue his training, he senses an explosion in the city, but what scares him is that he thinks the explosion was near UA. Goku quickly begins doing thousands of squats repeatedly to build up kinetic energy, and he then turns into Super Saiyan, shooting off in the direction of the explosion, and when he arrives, he sees all the buildings around UA destroyed, and Shigaraki is standing outside of the school itself, face to face with Aizawa and Hawks. He both look greatly injured, but Shigaraki hasn't got a scratch on him. Shigaraki turns around and smiles, asking how Goku has been. They didn't get the time to catch up last time. Goku clenches his fist, asking what Shigaraki is doing here. He must have known he'd arrive and stop him. Shigaraki smirks, saying he knew he'd arrive, but he won't be staying for long. Goku with a confused expression, but he then hears an explosion coming from the other side of the city, and Shigaraki says that there's about 100 extreme men Nomu over there, so Goku can stay here and fight, and Shigaraki will certainly entertain that. However, if he does, then he might as well say bye-bye to the rest of the city, because they both know there isn't another hero alive who could stop one of the Nomu, let alone 100 of them. Goku can't be in two places at once. He must choose. Goku analyzes the situation, thinking out the different scenarios, and he then appears in his mindscape, asking if Izuku is ready. Deku begins to stretch, as he says yeah, and Goku then returns to the real world, and Goku says Shigaraki is right about one thing. Shigaraki asks what that is, and Goku says that when Shigaraki said he can't be in two places at once, he is right, but he doesn't need to be. Now Shigaraki is the one with a confused expression, as Goku uses his spirit expansion to create a Susanoo-like construct around him, and Goku then puts his hands together, and begins to roar. But as he continues to do this, Aizawa, Hawks, and Shigaraki are all shocked as they start to hear Deku's voice mixed in with Goku's. Goku tells Shigaraki they can thank All For One for this move, as they then see a duplicate of Goku and his spirit expansion appear, but this isn't where it stops. Goku surmised that since it is an expansion of his spirit, if he has multiple spirits inside of him, perhaps he could expand those as well, and he was right. The clone Goku spirit expansion goes from the shape of Goku to Deku. Goku's clone then allowing Deku to control the spirit expansion, which then forms the shape of Deku's normal sized body.
Yes, sir.
And Goku tells Deku that he has to go stop those Nomu. Deku tells him he's on it, as he then flies away, and Hawks and Aizawa are stunned. They thought Deku was dead. He is dead. Shigaraki scowls, knowing that the vestiges of One For All lived inside of Goku. They never thought he could do something like this, but it doesn't matter. He just has to stall until they arrive. Goku then appears in front of Shigaraki, binding him with his Black Whip as he goes to hit him in the face. But Shigaraki then appears behind Goku, grabbing his neck, and Goku thinks he's dead, but Aizawa was staring at Shigaraki just before he touched Goku, so he nullified his quirk. Shigaraki is annoyed, thinking that Aizawa is lucky they need him alive, but before he can have another thought, Goku spins around, grabbing Shigaraki's arm and slamming him into the ground. Shigaraki coughs up blood, not being able to handle this level of power, and he tries to get up, but Hawks then attacks Shigaraki with a flurry of feathers, making sure he can't get up from the ground. Goku then powers up a Kamehameha, which he's going to hit Shigaraki with at a point blank range, but the light of the Kamehameha momentarily blinds Aizawa, forcing him to blink, which leads to Shigaraki teleporting into the air. Goku cancelling his Kamehameha, as he looks up at Shigaraki, and he watches as Shigaraki instantly loses all of his injuries. Goku isn't the only one who learned from his master. He gained a regeneration quirk in order to use Goku's biological growth method, and he can already feel the surge of power he just gained. On the other side of the city, Spirit Deku arrives and sees the Nomu terrorizing civilians, but he also sees some members of Class 1A trying to hold them back, though they are clearly failing. Nomu is then about to slam his fist on Ochako, but then Spirit Deku jumps in the way, stopping the Nomu's fist and punching the Nomu, destroying it entirely. Ochako seeing Deku and calling out his name, but he says he's sorry. There's no time to explain. Ochako then hugs the Spirit Deku, saying there's no need. She's just happy to see him again, even if it's only once, and she then stops hugging him and gives him a thumbs up, telling him that he needs to go be the hero he always promised to be. Deku nodding and flying to help the other members of 1A, and we head back to Shigaraki, who is looking down at Goku, and he would ask Goku what he is waiting for. Goku says they thought this would be useless, but he guesses he has to try this now, so he closes his eyes and then creates a giant gust of purple smoke which engulfs the battlefield. Goku is surprised he was able to do this first try, but it wasn't that complicated. Shigaraki then looks around, wondering what Goku is up to, but he then hears someone shouting, "Power!" as he's then hit across the face by Lemillion, who comes shooting past him, and as Shigaraki tries to grab him on the way down, Lemillion phases through his hand and pulls his face as he falls back into the smoke. Shigaraki then gets aggravated, but is then caught by a tentacle arm, and he then looks up and sees Nejire flying above him, and even though she is powering up a blast of energy to attack Shigaraki, he begins smirking. She finally arrived. Shigaraki is then hit by the blast, taking little damage, but he then realises Aizawa won't be able to look at him through the smoke, so he tries to grab the tentacle in order to decay whoever is holding him. But Goku then appears next to Shigaraki, pulling his hand up with Black Whip to prevent him from doing this. Shigaraki then teleports out of the binds and appears behind Nejire, gripping the back of her throat, as he tells her that he'll be needing her quirk in order to control the energy of its body, courtesy of Goku's DNA. Shigaraki then steals her quirk, her body beginning to fall to the ground, but while Tamaki clears the smoke and tries to catch her with a tentacle arm, Goku dashes in and catches her before landing on the ground. Goku then shouting for Hawks to come grab her and fly away. At this moment, neither of them should be on the battlefield. Hawks reluctantly agrees, and Goku holds Nejire's hand, saying he is so sorry, as Hawks then grabs onto her and flies away.
Damn.
Goku then calls Shigaraki a monster, as he flies towards Shigaraki, punching him in the gut, but Shigaraki doesn't move and begins laughing, and a purple aura appears behind him. Finally, he can control the immense power within this body. Goku is shocked, and Shigaraki then slams Goku into the ground, and shouts that even with Eraser not allowing him to use her quirk, it was so compatible with Goku's DNA that they became one and the same. And now, he is stronger than Goku himself.
Damn.
Tamaki then throws Lemillion at Shigaraki. Lemillion thinking he'll be able to attack Shigaraki in the same way again, but Shigaraki attempts to counter-attack Lemillion, which forces him to phase instead of attacking. Lemillion damns the world. Even though he was able to get his quirk back, since Eri gained better control of her power, he ironically feels even more powerless than before. Goku gets up off the ground, but Shigaraki appears in front of him. Aizawa's eyes quickly darting to Shigaraki to make sure he doesn't lose sight of him, and Shigaraki then punches Goku in the gut, while Goku punches him in the face. Goku says that Shigaraki may be strong, but he will never be stronger than him. He has to be the strongest, so he can fulfill the dream of his friend, who never got the chance to achieve the dream himself. He made a promise to become the #1 hero, and he won't break that promise. Goku and Shigaraki then begin trading blows, the shockwaves forcing Lemillion and Tamaki to get back, and Aizawa is struggling not to blink, so Shigaraki can't heal himself. Goku and Shigaraki seem to be evenly matched, both of them taking a lot of hits, but Goku's skill is superior, so he does have the edge. Goku then looks over Shigaraki's shoulder, seeing Aizawa, and he sees Cell appearing behind him. Goku shouting for Aizawa to watch out, but before Aizawa can react, Cell stabs him with his tail, and steals his quirk before teleporting away. Shigaraki then begins to try and grab onto Goku, but Goku closes his eyes, realising he's been ignoring his danger sense this entire time, so he decides to clear all of his other senses so he can focus on purely that, and he uses it to dodge every single attack.
Okay.
Goku then stacks 100% of one floor on top of Super Saiyan, and now begins attacking back while continuing to dodge. Shigaraki keeps healing after every strike, but he still can't land a strike of his own. Goku's strikes keep getting faster and faster, eventually becoming so fast They damages Shigaraki faster than he can regenerate, and while he continues to attack with one hand, he begins to power up a one-handed Kamehameha in the other. Goku then brings his hand forward, and fires a one-handed Kamehameha right in Shigaraki's face, but a millisecond before it hits, Shigaraki teleports away, fleeing the scene. Goku reverts to base, breathing heavily. He hasn't had to go all out ever since his battle with All For One. He forgot what it felt like to be truly hurt. Goku then runs over to Aizawa, checking if he is okay, but he says he's fine. Mirio helped him get to safety. Aizawa then asks if Goku will be leaving again, and Goku says he has to. He may have not been the reason they came this time, but he would be next time if he stayed. Aizawa understands, but he leaves Goku with one final message: win. Goku nods, flying off, and arriving to see Deku finish off the final Nomu. Deku's spirit then disappears, becoming Goku's clone once again, which then disappears shortly after.
Oh shit.
Deku, now back in Goku's mind, says that was very risky. Goku has to split his power in half in order to clone himself like that. How did he know he could still beat Shigaraki, even at only 50%? Goku simply said he didn't know if he could, but he knew he had to. But he still needs to finish him off for good, along with All For One, and he isn't sure if Cell is even affiliated with them, but he needs to be prepared. Goku then sees Ochako helping the final civilians out of the rubble, and Deku says they could go talk to her, to all of them, but Goku says they both know that isn't an option. He won't let anyone else die because they are close to him. Even Nejire, who was like a mentor to him, had her quirk stolen because they realised if her quirk was similar enough to help teach him, it would be similar enough to help them control his power, which they somehow seem to keep getting a hold of. Goku then flies away before anyone sees him, and lands on top of a rooftop, taking in the air and knowing that he will be ready for his final encounter with the villains. And with that, we're going to end off. With that out of the way, let's get into the video.
Let's go.
This video begins
Finale.
a month after the last video ended. Throughout this time, Goku has been hunting down All For One and Shigaraki as a priority, but also keeping an eye out for Cell, as he is a wild card, which could make his life a lot more difficult. However, Goku was unable to find anything which could lead him to them, and Goku is uneasy as his danger sense has been acting up constantly for the past 2 weeks, warning him of an imminent threat which could arise at any moment. Goku is in a deep meditation, speaking with Midoriya as they speculate as to what threat danger sense is warning him about.
They might be going after the school again.
Maybe, but I think that's too risky for them. You are their main target. Other heroes getting involved could mess up their plans.
Are we voice acting now?
They will most likely try to get you alone. Maybe they will create a distraction like they did last time. However, this time it'll be the heroes they are trying to distract, making it impossible for them to intervene.
You might be right, but...
Oh shit. What the fuck was
Goku
that?
wakes up from his meditation, flying in the direction of where the rumbling sound originated, and his eyes widen in disbelief as he sees half of the city is destroyed, and at the center of the destruction stands Shigaraki and All For One. Goku touches down a short distance in front of them, closing his eyes to sense if any other heroes are on their way to the scene. But Goku senses all of Japan's heroes on the opposite side of the city, fighting against all the villains All For One had at his disposal. Goku knows that the heroes will most likely lose unless he does something to help them, so he enters his mindscape again.
The heroes won't be able to hold up for long without our help. I am going to have to use the combination spirit expansion and multi-form again, so you can go give them a hand.
You know that'll cut your power in half. I don't think you can take both of them on at only 50%.
It doesn't matter if I can or not, I have to.
Okay, just be careful. And Goku, let go. Her death wasn't your fault. My death wasn't your fault.
Goku then exits his mindscape, using his multi-form to create a clone of his body, splitting his power in half, and the clone then uses spirit expansion to allow Deku to take over his body. Deku then tells Goku good luck before flying off, and Goku then takes off Momo's cloak and puts it in his pocket. All For One then smiles.
Taking off her cloak? I never thought you would get over that brat.
I just don't want her cloak to get damaged in the battle.
Oh, I assure you, once you are dead, we will burn that cloak along with any memory of her existence.
Okay, we're going all out for the
You two are the
finale.
ones who will be dead once this is over. My attacks are connecting, but they're doing no damage. I have to think of something fast.
Mind if I join in? You guys look like you were having so much fun.
Ah, if it isn't Cell, it seems like you remembered your place at your creator's side.
Not exactly, but Goku is an obstacle for both of our goals, so I believe a temporary alliance wouldn't hurt.
How disappointing, but very well. We will work together to kill Goku,
shit.
but then I will put an
Hey,
end to
Goku,
you
run away.
myself.
We shall see.
Come on then, I can take all three of you!
On the other side of the city, Deku is fighting with the army of heroes against the rampaging villains. But suddenly, Deku sees a news report about Goku's fight. Goku is out of breath and is low on energy, so much so that he is back in his base form. Goku is no match for the three villains at once, especially with only 50% of its power. All For One and Shigaraki become distracted with their victory, and Cell smirks, as this is exactly what he has been waiting for. Cell first comes up behind Shigaraki, engulfing him with his tail, and All For One doesn't even realise it's going on, as he is too busy gloating about his victory, and once he finally realises what is going on, it's too late, as Cell absorbs him as well. Goku's eyes widen as he witnesses Cell's transformation, and he is left stunned at the energy levels Cell is giving off.
You should be honored, Goku. You get to witness perfection before your death.
Cell then activates Eraser's
hell
quirk,
no.
making it so Goku can't use One For All, which forces Deku's vestige to disappear, and then the half of Goku's energy that Deku was using returns to Goku's body. But even with that, Goku doesn't think he'll be able to win. He's still fairly drained and can't even use One For All. Behind some rubble, All Might points a gun at Cell. All Might then fires at Cell, Cell being hit in the back of the neck, and Cell begins to smirk, thinking the wound will regenerate due to the quirk Shigaraki stole, but it doesn't. Cell then blitzes in front of All Might.
What did you do?
All Might smirks.
Quirk erasing bullet.
Goku is about to rush towards Cell in an attempt to stop the inevitable, but just before he can, Cell then kills All Might with a single punch.
No matter. Even without quirks, I still have enough power to defeat Go. What is going
Oh
on?
shit.
You ruthless, heartless bastard!
Gen 2?
I will make you suffer!
Super Saiyan Rage?
One for all, 1,000,000%.
This should be more fun than previously expected. Show me what you have to offer, Son Goku.
This isn't a game, Cell. This ends here.
Somewhat Super Saiyan Blue?
Let's end this with a final attack. Prove who is truly the strongest.
So be it.
Okay, my nigga Sacred Saiyan put that work in. Oh yeah, Cell, get the fuck out of here.
Goku reversed to his base form, putting back on Momo's cloak. He put an end to the greatest villains the world has ever seen, but now, most of the city is destroyed, far beyond repair, and everyone he cared about is dead. Before Goku can think about it anymore, he passes out due to exhaustion, and sometime later, he wakes up in the hospital area with Inoue, and Hatsume is standing over him. Goku gets up, asking why she is there, and Hatsume cheerfully tells Goku to follow her. Goku is confused, but obliges, walking behind her into her lab, and Goku sees a massive ship-like object in the middle of the room. Goku
time
asks what the
machine?
object is, and Hatsume says It is her greatest invention, the time machine.
Alright,
Goku's
Bulma.
eyes widen, not thinking it's possible, and Goku asks her why she is showing him this. Hatsume tells Goku that she never actually tested the time machine, since there's a 70% chance that whoever uses it could have their body teared apart completely. However, due to all the damage done to the city, she believed it may be the time to test it out. However, she certainly doesn't want to risk her own life testing it, which is why Goku is there. The question is Goku ready to risk his life in order to test it? Without hesitation, Goku immediately says yes, gripping Momo's cloak tightly. Hatsume and Goku then set the time and date for when Goku was to arrive, the day his closest friends died at the hands of All For One, and he will arrive 1 hour before it all goes down. Goku gets into the time machine, Hatsume asking if he is ready, and Goku says yes, it's going to work, it has to. Goku and the time machine then disappear, reappearing in UA in the past, and Goku is amazed. It really seems like it worked. Goku then takes action, flying to All For One's hidden lab, as he could sense Shigaroki's energy there, and he not only wipes out Shigaraki immediately, but he also takes out the cell that is inside this incubation pod, along with the rest of the lab. Goku was hoping All For One would be there, but it appears he must have already went to the part of the city where everything goes down. Goku then hears a massive explosion, signifying the beginning of the massive battle, and he flies in the direction of it, seeing his past self taking on All For One, while All For One's clone takes on Endeavor, Bakugo, Todoroki, and Momo. She is just as beautiful as he remembered. Goku knows his past self will hold his own for the time being, so he decides to deal with All For One's clone first, knowing his friends won't be able to otherwise. Endeavor and Todoroki are firing a joint flame blast at All For One's clone, forcing him to block, and Bakugo adds his explosion to the blast, making the clone get sent flying into a building. The clone then dashes back towards them, but Deku catches him with his black whip, trying to hold them back, but as the clone is about to break out of the binds, Goku appears and uses Black Whip to continue restraining the clone.
Okay.
Everyone is confused. They thought Goku was dealing with the real All For One, and why does he look different, older? And how is he using Black Whip? But Goku says he'll explain after, but they need to finish the clone now. Endeavor, Todoroki and Bakugo all fire their conjoint blast again, the clone not being able to block this time, so it gets completely erased by the scorching heat of the blast. And then, everyone takes a deep breath, before all looking to Goku and asking what is going on. Goku then brings them all into a group hug, tears falling from his eyes, as he says it's so good to see them all again. He is from the future, and in his future, all 5 of them died. At this time, he will make sure things turn out differently.
This nigga turned to Trunks?
They all have a shocked expression on them.
This nigga turned to Trunks? This nigga got Super Saiyan Blue out of nowhere? What the fuck? There's just a lot of shit going on, man. Yeah. Nigga got perfect shell pulled up on the nigga. Damn.
Faces, but they see their Goku holding back All For One's beam with his hands, and the future Goku then blitzes in that direction, quickly appearing next to their Goku and powering up into Super Saiyan himself, as both the Gokus push All For One's beam back at him, greatly injuring All For One. However, he quickly regenerates, getting a boost in power. The two Gokus look at each other, the past Goku saying he doesn't know what is going on, but he knows they can figure it out after All For One is taken care of. Future Goku saying is right, as both Gokus fly towards All For One, Future Goku arriving at him first, as he sucker punches him in the face, knocking his head back, but once he lifts his head back up, past Goku kicks it back down, where Future Goku then grabs his neck with Black Whip and slams him into the ground. All For One regenerates again, not knowing what is going on, but it doesn't matter, he will kill both of them. All For One powers up a Kamehameha, aiming at the two Goku standing before him, while the past Goku powers up a Kamehameha as well. Future Goku powers up a final flash, and as All For One fires his Kamehameha at the duo, they fire a final Kamehameha back at him, swiftly overwhelming All For One's beam and atomizing the Saiyan imposter. After he is taken care of, Goku pats his past self on the back, telling him well done. Past Goku says now he can explain what is going on, but Future Goku says that he isn't sure he has time to. He doesn't know how this whole time travel thing works, but he could disappear any moment, so he needs to do some things quickly. The others gather around, and Goku first transforms into his greatest transformation, Super Saiyan Rage, with All For One stacked on top of it. Goku doesn't have a name for this form, but he tells his past self that if he wants to protect all his friends, he needs to find a way to reach this level of power. Goku then hugged Momo, crying, as he slightly laughs, and tells her to try not to die this time. Finally, Goku turns to Izuku, pulling out a piece of hair and saying that he can finally return the gift he gave him. His version of Deku gave him one for all before he died. Now, he can give it to this Izuku, and it will hopefully give him the power to achieve his dream of becoming number one.
Okay.
Izuku eats a piece of hair. The two timelines one for alls, merging into one inside of Deku. Deku then sprouting out a tail.
Look, Deku really... Oh shit, the tail. Deku really had the body to hold regular off on it. This nigga definitely ain't gonna have the body to hold Goku's off on. I mean, one for all. My fault.
Out of nowhere, Goku sees this and thinks that because of him not being a human and his abilities working different from that of a quirk, it seems One For All tried to transfer his abilities, but in doing so, also transferred a part of his biology. He is sure his past self will help him harness the power that comes with that. Goku then goes to shake Deku's hand, but as he tries, his hand slowly disappears, and Goku smiles, knowing his time is up, but he wouldn't change a thing. The essence of future Deku's soul then comes out of the past Deku. The other vestiges of One For All merge with their previous variants, but future Deku didn't have a vestige to merge with, so he is fading away as well. Future Deku hugs future Goku, and the two then smile at each other. They did it, and then the future warriors were gone. Time passes. Goku and Momo live a happy life. After Deku looks at a full moon and transformed into a great ape, Goku sees the similarities with his Ikari form and helps Deku compress the power of Great Ape, allowing Deku to use Ikari as well. And as future Goku took out all the major threats upon his arrival, the world was safe and under the protection of the greatest heroes the world has ever seen. But the story doesn't end in this world.
Finally, you are.
Alright.
Who are you?
You sure caused quite a commotion.
Alright.
I am the Supreme Kai of Time, and you are
That's
in the
funny.
Time Nest.
I got bored and played Xenoverse early today.
But why am I here? I don't understand.
Well, you see, you meddled with time, and that is a big
Or the
no-no.
other day.
But not only that, you was never meant to be in that timeline to begin with.
Goku's look of confusion, but the Supreme Kai of Time continues.
You see, for some time now, rifts have been appearing in our multiverses timelines. Those rifts leading to completely separate multiverses. Those multiverses being out of my jurisdiction normally according to the rules of the Sacred Council, but due to your unique circumstances, I was able to nab you up as you were being erased from existence, since in your original multiverse, time travel shouldn't have that erasing effect. So long story short, I found a loophole that saved you.
Goku's completely confused, but since time travel exists, he guesses the rest of that stuff could. But who were the Sacred Council? The Supreme Kai of Time, so she can explain that later, but for now, she has one question for Goku.
What's up?
Does he want to keep saving people? Goku says yes.
Hell
the
yeah.
Supreme Kai of Time is pleased, so she then repairs Goku's hero costume. But Goku asks if she can fuse Momo's cloak with it, so he can always remember her when he is fighting. The Supreme Kai of Time agrees, snapping her fingers as the orange on Goku's outfit turns red and the blue on his
Okay.
outfit turns black. And the Supreme
Okay,
Kai of
okay.
Time even put the power pole Momo made on his back. And with that, we are going to end off this series. I hope you guys all enjoyed this series.
Man, shout out to Sacred Saiyan for this video, this story, man. This was fire. This was definitely fire, man. Like I said before, man. Well, let me say this: the mixture between the story was great, was beautiful. He added other Dragon Ball characters in the story, which made it a lot better. And yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like he made all the other characters stronger, like the villains stronger, because they gonna use, of course, they'll use Goku DNA to try to become stronger. And then so yeah, this was fire. This was great, man. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what other video you want me to react to after this, what story you want me to react to after this, and check out the last chapter right here. Check out another story right here, and peace.